Hello and welcome to Mr. Movie Miles. I'm your host Princess Concon, and today we're going to be reviewing. Let's get into it.
It's finally here, guys. The Last of Us Part 2, or Season 2, should I say. I'm so used to calling it Part 2 because of the game, but this, just to disclaimer, this is going to be a spoiler review of the show and of the game. I can't not talk about the game as well. It's a big part of my life. It's my favourite game of all time. My favourite stories. So this season is very important to, and just a passion thing for me. But anyway, let's just get straight into it. So we're going to start off with story. We open the episode with a group of people, and new people won't really know who it is, but this is Abby, and she's dealing with the aftermath of what happened at the Fireflies, what Joel did, and they're burying their dead, and there's 4 or 5 of them there. I know who they all are. We got Abby. We got a few others, but I won't really go into them. If you know, you know. But she wants revenge for what Joel did, and it's assumed that it's because of the, Ellie was the cure. This could have saved everyone. But we'll find out more going forward what the motives are. And if you know, you know. It's also important to note that she wants to kill Joel, but she wants to do it slowly. And if you know, I'm gonna go straight into it. Spoilers, it is spoilers. So Joel does die in this, pretty relatively early in the first part of the game. We know how he dies. He gets hit in the head. It's pretty quick, and it's still painful for him. It looks horrible, but she mentions she wants to do it slowly. So I'm guessing that it's going to be very, very well drawn out and horrible. I feel like it's going to be worse in the game. So looking forward to that. We then get the title sequence and whatnot, and we get a jump to 5 years later, which happens in the game as well. We open with the scene from the end of the first game where Ellie says okay to Joel about the everything that happened with the Fireflies was true, all that. But we also get a little bit more where Ellie just kind of walks off and Joel stands there. We don't see that in the game, so it's pretty cool. It gives us a bit of a recap from the last season. But then we get into the kind of nitty gritty of who else is involved in this story, who is a key feature, who's a key character, and that is Abby. And we meet Abby at the Firefly Hospital, and she is with a few other people. I won't really go into them right now because they're not really that important at the moment, but she wants revenge and she wants to kill Joel for what he's done and all these people that are dead. So it's exciting to see her so early, and literally the second scene. So that's really cool. She looks great. Her acting was brilliant. Really enjoyed this character and this actress. I love Abby, and I know a lot of people don't, but I do. And she mentions she wants to kill Joel slowly. My theory is that she's going to do it in a really horrific way, a lot worse than in the games. And it's sad because Pedro Pascal really brings a lot of emotion to Joel, more so than in the game, I would say. Again, my opinion. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but it's my opinion. So we get 5 years later, and we have Ellie, and she's fighting this guy, and it turns out they're just training, which you don't really see in the game. It's just that Ellie's just capable in a fighting scenario, I guess. She's a good shot. She has her knife. You don't really know how she learns to fight. She just kind of does. So it was a really cool scene, but we also know that everyone's kind of not wanting to hurt Ellie because of Joel and Jesse, kind of who we get introduced to, and he looks fantastic as this character. He looks like Jesse, so great casting there. But he mentions that I don't want to upset Joel, and Ellie's just don't ever do that. No, I can do what I want. I'm an adult. Blah blah blah. So the tension's already there between her and Joel, which is very. It's exciting to see, but it's also very tragic. This story is heartbreaking, but. Yeah, it was cool to see that little scene and show that Ellie is capable, more than capable, really. But even in that scene, Ellie gets this guy in this hold, and she's so into the fight that she doesn't stop. And I guess that's kind of foreshadowing her rage later down the line. So I really liked that little aspect of it. And then we see Jackson, and Jackson looks bang on exactly the same as it did in the game. It's really, really beautiful. You can tell some of it's CGI in the background, but that's what they do. But they've built a set here, and it does look just identical to the game. There's parts of the game where you're walking through where Ellie was walking through in the show, and it's complete replica. Absolutely love it. We then get Joel doing like some like hard labour, and he's playing with these pipes, and there's like sticks in there and whatnot. But then we see him go home, and we're then introduced to Dina, and Dina goes to see Joel, and they have like quite a loving, sweet little relationship, which you don't see them like ever really interact in the game, like at all really. I think you see them on screen together, but they don't really say anything to each other. So this is a really good touch because it connects, you know, the community together and these characters a lot more. That Dina has a relationship which seems better than what Ellie and Joel has at this point in time anyway, and from what we know. But yeah, it's a great introduction. Like, she really cares for Joel. She wonders why, you know, what's going on with Ellie, like why she's so distant towards him now and stuff. And he's just kind of oblivious to it. And I don't know if that's because he actually doesn't feel like he's done anything wrong, or if, you know, he's trying to keep it hush hush. But it's really cool to see that, like, now Joel has kind of got this other kind of, not a daughter, like obviously he wants to like talk to Ellie, but he's finding another kind of daughter in this other lady, which is Dina, and it's really interesting to see, to be fair. And it kind of says a lot about Joel's character, that he's craving that daughter-father relationship after his daughter died, and now Ellie's kind of being cold and distant. It's sad. It's really, really sad. We then get Joel and Maria talking about fixing up the community. Joel wants to like stop letting people in, but he said he would let them in if he could let them all in, but he understands like there's not enough room, there's not enough, like we need more time to build things. It's like cold, it's winter. But that's an important thing to note, that Maria wants to let people in, but Joel also does, but is a bit more realistic towards it. But I feel like that will pay into some things a bit later, but we'll get into that later. Then we get Joel in therapy, and this is a really like big departure from the game. Not a departure actually, but it's new, and it gives us more insight into Joel's his character and what he's feeling and what he's like going through at the moment, which is, you know, everyone who's new to this like series is probably thinking, oh, what's going on with him and Ellie? It's so sad, and you know, it is. But we know as the audience from the games, but you know, they might change things. But anyway, we introduced this therapist. I cannot remember her name, but the actress, I've seen her in loads of things. Forgot her name as well, but she's brilliant. She's one of the standouts of this episode. She's funny. She's like, I'm choosing to drink because I woke up sad. I'm like, been there, do you know what I mean? But she's fantastic. She delivers a really real performance. Like, this character isn't just a therapist, she's like an individual person, which is, they do that a lot with The Last of Us as well. Like, they make these characters not just side characters, but fully fledged human beings, which is fantastic. But there was something that I noticed. There was a painting that they showed on screen in the episode where there's a cowboy on a horse, and then there's another horse with a saddle on behind him, and no one's on it. And I feel like this is obviously foreshadowing what's to come with Joel, but also foreshadowing Ellie's loneliness in the world and her journey. And also Abby's, but we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's absolutely fantastic. We also learn that Joel is a weed dealer, and he grows weed, and I'm guessing he sells it to the community to kind of get things, and I guess it's kind of like his smuggling days, so it kind of plays into that. But he does it so he can pay for the therapy. But then we learn that the therapist's husband was Eugene, and we don't meet him in the game because in the game he's dead also, but we learn that Joel had to kill him. And the lady's like, yeah, I understand you had to kill him, but the way you did it was horrific, which very in line with Joel. And she kind of opens up like, okay, let's kind of let's make a deal. I'll open up about how I feel, and you open up about how you feel. And she says like, I hate how much she hates Joel and all this. And it's really, really like sad and touching, but amazingly done. And we learn that, you know, she deals with these emotions because obviously she's kind of professional, but she knows that I need to let this go because I know this isn't helping anyone. But she gives this like incredible line. Let me just read it out because it was amazing. You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud. Incredible line, like it's incredible. And so, you know, she says her bit and Joel says his, and he says, I saved her, obviously meaning Ellie, but that's all he says. And it's like, does he actually believe that? Or, you know, to justify his actions, which he did technically save her, but it's so complex. Like, it's so complex because is he just kind of putting in front, I saved her, that makes it okay what he did. But it's not okay what he did because that's not what she would have wanted. We then get the next kind of segment, which is like mostly from Ellie's perspective, and we find her in her garage, which is next door to Joel's house, or I guess it's attached to the house, or however you want to look at it, it's literally next door. But the garage looks exactly like it does in the game, which again, like a great nod. You see the posters, the same posters that are in the game. You see, it's very Ellie, and yeah, I love the detail in this. Like the attention to detail is incredible. It's like they're not just like fans of the game, but they adore this game just as much as I do. Like it's incredible what they pulled off in just this, especially in Jackson. Seeing Jackson looks great, but seeing Ellie's room be identical, fantastic. So we get a knock on the door, and I'm thinking it's Jessie because in the game it's Jessie, but no, it's Dina, which is new, but I like it. I like it a lot more. It kind of, we get to see their relationship build quicker and more organic, I feel like, in this episode than we do in the game. And so those two go off to basically start their shift on their rounds and whatnot. And they get on their horses, and then Jessie's kind of giving a speech, but Ellie and Dina are kind of pissing about. They're kind of like not taking it seriously, which kind of bugged me a little bit with Ellie, because I'm like, grow up, like this is really serious. Like you're going out with infected, but I guess this is just her life. And it's just like a normal day for her, so I kind of understand it, but it's like, Ellie, get your head in the game kind of thing. But that's who Ellie is. She's very capable, but she's also childish. It's just it's part of her trait, I guess. We also learn that when they go out on their run, we are kind of introduced-ish to Kat, and Kat is Ellie's ex-girlfriend in the game, but we never meet her at all, so it's really cool that they introduced her. And then when they go on the run in the game, there is no group, it's just Ellie and Dina, like that's it. They go on alone, and not everyone's okay with that. And then also Joel and Tommy are out on a run as well, so things are different, but also kind of keeping in line with the game, and which is, like, I'm fine with it. Like I don't mind it. It makes it new for me because I know this original story of the game so well. So to get new little aspects and tweaks, I'm fine with it as long as the outcome's the same and the messaging is the same. Like my feelings are really mixed right now. Like this show's doing a lot already. Ellie and Dina are talking, and Dina brings up like, "Are you going to the dance tonight?" Which is really important in terms of how the story is structured in the game, because that scene is a trailer, the one we get later on in the dance. So I'm thinking that scene is like the first part of the game in terms of like the order, but we don't see the scene until the end of the game. So I'm getting this feeling that, okay, we're going to see this scene earlier, but that scene was supposed to happen the night before this, like the scouting mission. So I'm thinking, what are they doing? What are they planning? Why is it different? But we'll kind of get more into that later. But anyway, Dina is like, who are you going with to this party? And they talk about that, and they're kind of like flirting a little bit. But they then see, the whole group sees blood in the snow. Ellie's like, yeah, let's go. I'm hungry. Let's go. Like, I'm ready to go and fight. Dina goes too, and then the rest of the party follow. But when we get there, they locate this like shopping like supermarket, but it's like obviously dead. Like no one's in there. Well, other than the infected. And Ellie and Dina find the infected, they go in, and this is like a really cool like moment. They kind of come up with a plan to fight the infected, but it's kind of played off as like a joke as well. Dina's kind of doing all this like silent like 1, like 2 thing, like you're gonna get the knife and you're gonna like stab. And then Ellie kind of does this thing where she's like to herself, and it made me laugh because I do that to my friend all the time. Like I have this like little knife in my room, and I pretend to, it's blunt, like it's not dangerous, and I pretend to like, oh, you know what I mean? And he hates it, he gets scared when I show him, but I do it for laugh. So I can relate to Ellie for using that kind of humour. But again, there's more nods to the game when they pick up the bottle and they throw it to distract the clicker. And then another nod when Ellie does actually kill the clicker, she jumps on its back and starts stabbing it in the neck, which is really grim. But she does that in the first game when you play as her, and she's like really small, she's a kid. She literally grabs onto their shoulder, like onto their back, and stabs. So to see that in this, like done exactly the same, it's cool. Like they know what they're doing. They're giving us what we want, you know what I mean? And it's really entertaining. So it was cool to see a clicker, and it was cool to see Ellie take it down the way she did. So in the next part, we get Ellie and Dina are kind of like celebrating their little victory, and they fall through, well, Ellie falls through the roof. She does this in the game, this happens exactly the same, but when they land in the game, there's a clicker there, but that doesn't happen in this. Instead, Ellie's in the supermarket, which is exactly the same as it is in the game. Like, the design is incredible. Instead of clickers, we see stalkers, which are in the first game, but in this they're kind of introduced as this new thing, which I love. Like, I hope we get more reason to why the infected are. Well, I feel like the infected are growing to be like defend themselves. Like, nature always wins. That was kind of some of the points of the first season. Nature will always win. Whether that's nature itself or human nature, like your instincts, your animalist side will come out. But we get this really cool shot where Ellie's standing in the store. She knows something's up, and we see the stalker on the shelves. And it's like, I thought it was small, and I was like, that's a child. That is a child, which is messed up. And then when Ellie does discover it, she's like screaming, like, run at me, like, why aren't you running? Like, come, let's go. So Ellie goes to chase it, and the stalker like runs away. And it's terrifying. In the game, they are like the worst part for me anyway. They are absolutely, oh gosh, just got attacked. They are the worst part of the game. They're terrifying. The way they literally just stalk you. They follow you and then they hide, and then another one will come around the corner and attack you. Ugh, it's terrible. Terrifying even. When Ellie goes to find the stalker, it's hiding and it comes up behind her. It's terrifying. And then when she turns around, she shoots, it's gone. Amazing, really, really well done. Like, adds so much tension, and it's just one infected. Like, in the game, there's always loads of infecteds that you have to fight, but what they do with just one is terrifying. Like, it's truly, truly scary. But eventually, the clicker, I keep calling it a clicker, the stalker gets onto Ellie, bites Ellie, and eventually they kill it. And Ellie doesn't tell Dina about her immunity, and I thought that's what was going to happen, because in the game, she tells Dina in a kind of similar way. There's these things called spores, and I heard that spores are going to be in the game, but in the show, but I don't know. Dina and Ellie are then talk to the council, which is, it's a cool thing in the story. Like, I can imagine there would be that in the game. That would be in the game, but probably just didn't have time to do it, or it wasn't that important. But in this, we see Ellie telling them about this type of infected, and it's new. They haven't seen it before. But everyone's kind of dismissive of it. But not dismissive, they believe Ellie, but they're also like, okay, we'll deal with it another time. We also learned that it's New Year's Eve, and I think they said it was 2029 as well, which is crazy to think about. We then get Ellie cleaning her wound, and that was pretty gross, but it shows she's tough as shit. Like, she'll just get on with it. Love this character. Ellie's probably one of my favourite characters of all time, and Abby. Joel, not so much in the game. In the show, definitely. We also see Ellie writing in her diary as well, which is, very in line with the game. She does that, and you can read that whenever you want. It shows her feelings towards Dina and how much she likes her. And she keeps writing, "Don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up." So it's cute that she's got this crush, and well, not even a crush. Like, I guess it's a crush, but she genuinely has feelings for Dina. And she's unsure if Dina has those same kind of feelings. We then get a really great scene, and it's Ellie at the party. Again, it's shot for shot, like everything, the design of it, how it looks, how it plays out. It's exactly the same as in the game. The only difference is we don't get this scene so early in the game. We get it towards literally the last 10 minutes of the game. We see this scene for reasons I'll probably go into in a different video. And when we get to it in that episode, if we ever do in this show. Yeah, everything about it. I want to talk about like Dina, for instance. She looks exactly like Dina, how she's dancing, how she moves, how she's just interacting with people around her. It's incredible. It's exactly the same. Even like how the camera comes down in the scene where Ellie's standing there. It's phenomenal. It's exactly how it is, and they didn't have to do that. They could have done their own thing, but because they know how important this scene is, yeah, they did it justice. I'm really, really happy, and they should be really proud that they pulled it off. Oh, but before all that, we do get a scene where Joel goes to see Ellie in her garage, and or a little house, whatever, and inside, this is the first scene that we actually see Joel and Ellie interact with each other. And it is kind of played off like she's just a angsty teenager, but she's 19, she's basically an adult, and yeah, it's kind of awkward. He asks if she's going to the party, she's like, yeah, maybe, whatever. She's not really bothered looking at him. But then when he picks up the guitar, and if you know this guitar, it's the guitar that Joel gives Ellie at the start of the game, and he says, I'm going to change the strings, and then he just leaves abruptly because it's awkward for him, it's awkward for her. and that's basically it. But going back to the dance, yeah, it's brilliant. We get, what's his name? Jesse is kind of like, yeah, I'm over Dina, whatever, because they were an item, but whatever, that's kind of boring to me. But Dina comes over, she grabs the drink off Jesse, she drinks it exactly how she does in the game, and gets Ellie to dance. And again, it's incredible what they did. Like, I'm so glad they did the scene the way they did it, exactly from the game. Like, I know it's like, it's an adaptation, things should be different, and I get that, and I'm fine with a lot of things being different sometimes, depending if it fits. But yeah, it's masterful. It really is masterful. It's a masterful scene in general. But yeah, they dance, and Ellie noticed like people are staring, and Adina's like flirting and said that they're looking at you. Ellie's like, no one's looking at me. I'm nobody. I'm not dangerous, I'm no threat. And like Dina's like, well, bitch, you are. Like, it's incredible because it foreshadows the entire story of what Ellie is about to go through. Ellie is dangerous, she is a threat, and yeah, phenomenal. They kiss, and then this guy gives this homophobic remark, like, what a pig. But you know, whatever. Joel intervenes, which is like the important part. She kicks off, like Ellie just goes mad at him. I understand like people new to it won't understand why, but us as game fans who have played it, we know all of it. We know all of it. So it's it's heartbreaking to see Joel being like portrayed like this. Like Pedro Pascal is doing a really good job. Bella Ramsey's doing a really good job, and it's on like the first episode. Yeah, it's sad. But then the big part, which I was so confused about, and my feelings are still a bit all over the place. Whereas it's Ellie goes, it looks like she's going to see Joel, and this is like one of the last scenes, the last scene of the game, and she goes to see Joel, and Joel is sitting playing the guitar or fixing Ellie's strings even, and she just walks past him. She doesn't have her conversation, but this is a major spoiler as well. I mean, I've been spoiled most of it anyway, and I've told spoilers, but major part is, this is really crucial because this is the last scene they ever have together. This is the last conversation they would ever have together. Just like that, she doesn't talk to him. She doesn't say anything. She just walks into a house. I can only assume that next week Joel is dead. And the last words Ellie says to him, she's shouting at him. She's saying like, fuck off. Like, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I don't need your help. And it's so tragic. It's so sad because in the game you get that moment at the end. You see that scene, and it's so important because it shows that she would have forgave Joel for what he did to the Fireflies and, you know, to her. But instead, she doesn't get to say sorry. She doesn't get to have that I forgive you moment with him, or I'll try to forgive you. It's tragic, and they're fucked up for doing it because I like it, but that's what I think is going to happen. Like, Joel will die and she's not going to be able to say, I want to try and forgive you. It's incredible. They're going in hard in this show. They're going even they're going to make us cry. Make me cry even. And that's basically the episode. We do kind of get like a little post thing, not after the credits, but not that I know actually, I should have checked. But we see the pipes that Joel was working on, that they have the infected kind of the tendril things coming out. So we know that the people in Jackson are kind of gonna get fucked. And then we see Abby arriving at Jackson. Let's just go straight into predictions. My predictions are, in the next episode, Jackson's obviously I think it's going to get overrun by infected, and people are going to start to get infected, and that's going to be a whole situation. For that, Abby and her group of people are going to infiltrate Jackson, and I believe, or I theorise, that Maria and Joel are going to be the ones to let her in, and them in. And then she is going to obviously kill Joel while everything is going on and everything is chaotic, with all the infected going crazy. Yeah, it's terrifying, but I think that's what's going to happen because Neil Druckmann, the writer and director of The Last of Us 2 game, did say that the original plan was for Abby to infiltrate Jackson, and she kind of becomes friends with Ellie. I would love that as well. I would love them to kind of become friends, for then obviously Ellie to find Joel dead because of what she did. Yeah, that's intense. That's really, and I think I'm 99% sure that's what's going to happen. I could be completely wrong, but I hope it does happen. Like, it sounds so interesting. So I'm really excited for that. Another prediction, Joel's dead next week. He's a goner. There's no way he survives, and I hope he does die. Like, I don't hope he dies, but I mean, in terms of the story, like, he has to die, for me anyway. I'll still watch the show regardless if he doesn't, but the whole point is that Joel dies, and I'm ready for it, and it's got to be heartbreaking, and it's got to be brutal, but let's go. Overall, I love this episode. It's a great opening to a season. I love this show. I love this story. It's my favourite story of all time, and I'm ready to see it kind of brought to live action. The first one is great, and it does what it does, and it's brilliant. But the second one truly is remarkable, and I can't wait to see the rest. But if you like this video, guys, please leave a like, leave a comment. I want to know people's thoughts. Like, let me know, what do you think will happen next episode? What do you think of this episode? Do you like the introduction of the Stalkers? Do you think they did it justice? And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.